Hello guys, it's Dale here. As I promised yesterday, today I'm going to talk a little bit more about a trade from yesterday, a trade that I sent you yesterday, and it was a trade on the ES, which is Standards and Poor's 500 Index Futures. What you see before you, this is my website. If you go to the market analysis section in here, then this is the video I'm going to talk about. This is the prediction I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to click that, and right there, let me skip a little bit forward. This was the prediction, right? This was the prediction long level based on the volumes in this area. This was the long level, and this was the prediction from the video. The market already touched that level and reacted to it, and it was a risky trade. And it was a risky trade because the price reached that level very soon after a significant macro news on the US dollar. It was the CPI news, which is very significant macro news, and it would be pretty risky taking that trade after the macro news spike. But there is one thing that could help you when you are trading such risky trades, and the thing is order flow. So today I'm going to talk about order flow and about how order flow helped in this risky situation to identify that this level is going to work. So let me switch over to a chart. So yeah, this is the price action chart of the ES. It is a 30-minute chart. This is what you saw in the video, right? This volume cluster, that level was based on, this was the level. And this huge red candle, this was the macro news, the CPI macro news in the US. And this was the reaction to the level. What I want to show you is the detail of this area on the order flow and confirmations that came on the order flow and that confirmed that big guys were actually reacting to this significant volume zone and that they were about to reverse the price and push the price upwards. So I'm going to show you the confirmations around this level. So let me switch over to the order flow workspace, and what I have in here are 4 charts, and I'm going to comment on 3 of them. Let's start with this one. Let me go full screen. So what you see here is the level. This is the level, right? This green line, that's the level from the prediction, and this is the sell-off after macro news. Let me zoom it out a bit. This is where it started. This was the sell-off. And as I was saying, this was the level. Now, the order flow in this case shows only total volumes. It doesn't show bid or ask, only total volumes. And what you can notice is that the heavier volumes, the darker the shade of the footprint is. So this zone, this dark gray zone, the order flow tells us that the big guys were active there, the volumes were heavy there, and the big guys were entering their trades there, right? And the cool thing about this is that this massive heavy volume area appeared right around the support which we had there. So this was a first confirmation, right? Because what you want to see around your supports is that big guys are reacting to those supports and that they are jumping in. And if you see that, it's likely that the price will reverse. So this was the first confirmation. Huge volumes around the support level. And the thing is that you need to see those heavy volumes around support or resistance level, not just anywhere, right? You need to see that around a significant level. If you see that around a significant, let's say, volume-based level, like the significant level I published yesterday, then it is a strong confirmation. All right, so this was the confirmation number 1, that the big guys are reacting to the support. Now, second thing, this chart. Let me go full screen again. This is the same thing. Also, we are looking at a 30-minute chart, but in this case, we see bid and ask prices on the order flow. And in here, you can notice around the level, this is the level, this is the support, right? This is the support. And what you can see in here is a setup which I call absorption. What absorption means is that there are huge volumes traded both on the bid side as well as on the ask side of the footprint. Volumes need to be more or less the same on bid and on ask. More or less, no need to be exact here, but generally speaking, you need to see huge volumes both on bid and on ask. And this is basically telling us that as the sellers were pushing the price downwards, then at this place there were huge volumes on bid, right? Sellers were selling aggressively, but the price stopped here, and the reason is that buyers were buying everything the sellers had to sell. So sellers were selling aggressively, but buyers were buying everything. And those are the huge numbers, huge volumes on ask. Those are the buyers buying everything the sellers are selling. And that's why the price stopped in here, right? If the sellers were selling and nobody was really willing to buy, then the price would be dropping, right? Because the sellers would be more aggressive than buyers. But in this case, buyers were also aggressive. They wanted to buy. Why? Because there was this support. The price reached that support, and institutional buyers knew that. So they wanted to enter their trades there. They wanted to trade this because it was a strong level. So they were buying here. And this was another confirmation that buyers are jumping in and that the price is likely to turn, right? So this is the absorption. Buyers were absorbing the selling pressure. Again, you need to see huge volumes both on bid and on ask, and you need to see that close to a support level, like in here, right? Not just anywhere, but close to a support level. This was the support that we identified yesterday in yesterday's video, and the absorption took place at that level. And that made it a strong confirmation that this is going to work, that the support is going to work, right? So that's the second confirmation. And there was also a third confirmation that this is going to work. It was in here on this chart. So let me go full screen again. This is the level we had. This is the support from yesterday's prediction. And what you see here, that's a 30-minute chart. And I applied a trade filter here. And the trade filter means that only a huge orders appear on the footprint. Not small or iceberg orders, but only a huge orders. Like if you place one huge order all at once, not an iceberg order, but if it goes to the market all at once, then it will appear in here. And there was this super significant order right there. Over 1,000 contracts with just one order executed right there at our level. And this is obviously a huge order if you compare it to the other orders that are on this screen, that you can see it's 10 times bigger than the average one, right? So that's huge. Huge order appearing in here. And it is on the bid side. Now on the bid side, show either aggressive sellers with market orders. So this could be aggressive seller who placed a short trade using market order, or it could be passive buyer who used a limit order to buy. Now sometimes people get confused with that, because basically what I'm saying is that this could be buyer or this could also be a seller, right? It could be either aggressive seller or a passive buyer with a limit order. So how do we tell if this was a buyer or seller? Now what you need to do is you need to look at the bigger picture, right? To tell whether this was a buyer or a seller. What happened here was that we had a strong support here based on volume profile strategy. So at the time the price reached this zone, we knew that this was a support. Now we also knew that there was a strong sell-off. And now you tell me what is more likely. After a strong sell-off, is there going to be a huge institutional seller who after that huge drop starts selling so much? No, it's not really likely, right? Because the big guys were already in their short positions. The big guys are not dumb. They don't enter short positions after a huge sell-off, right? Because it's already too late. They would be late to the party. For that reason, it's more likely that some big institutional trader was waiting with a limit order at this support because they knew that this was a strong support, and they were waiting with a limit order placed here. And when the price hit this area, this support, the limit order got executed, and because it was a limit order, it showed on the bid side. All right? So it's more likely that this was a passive buyer. But you always need to consider the big picture, right? To tell whether this was an aggressive seller or a passive buyer, right? So in this case, I think it was pretty clear and it made a very nice confirmation because a big institutional trader placed a huge buying limit order at our support, and that was another thing that confirmed that the price was likely going to turn and go upwards. Right, so that was the third confirmation of that support level. Now, as I was saying, without order flow, this would be pretty risky trade to take. But if you were looking at the order flow, then those three confirmations made it way safer to trade that level. So yeah, that's about the confirmations on the order flow. I hope you guys like the analysis. And if you are interested in learning more about order flow, what I recommend is checking out my website. It is trader-dale.com, and I recommend going here where it says order flow. You click that, and what I recommend getting is the order flow pack. There is a video which you can watch, and that will show you everything that the order flow pack includes. In short, it includes my custom-made order flow software, 12-hour video course on trading using the order flow, and also my custom-made volume profile indicators. If you want to get it, just scroll down the page. You can read some of the features of the order flow here. And currently we are running a sale, Independence Day sale, on the order flow pack, and you can get it 50% discounted until the end of the month. All right, so that's about the order flow pack and also about the analysis. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time in some next video or in our members area. Until then, happy trading.